Hello my fair citizens, Strider here back with another episode of the Salt Mine. So today we have a lot of crazy topics, so let's get right into it. So for the topics we do have for today, it's going to be Brian from Star City Games being unable to really write any MTG articles over the last 2 weeks. We also have a lot of people, when entering in tournaments for MTG Melee, they're putting in the wrong deck list archetype or some really weird deck list name for whatever reason. We also have CGB getting called out by Crokeyz, of course, because why not? And then the biggest announcement is MTG Alchemy. Let's get right into the news. For our first story, we do have Brian from Star City Games actually coming out and stating, opting out of writing for a second week in a row, which is actually quite a lot because I realized I just don't have anything new or productive to say about Standard. I'm off crusading for bans and shakeups because that upsets people, but wow, it's hard not to feel deflated, especially so soon after rotation. Now, this is a very interesting situation to be in for quite a lot of people because there's a lot of streamers and other standard-based content creators that are really just having a lot of problems because of the state that Standard's in. Now, I'm not a Standard expert, so I can't really say anything to it, but it seems like Standard, even after rotation, still has a ton of problems. So what do you think the problems are and how do you think they can fix it? Let me know in the comment section below. And as for the next topic, we have a bunch of people locking in deck names and archetypes that are different than what they're actually playing within MTG Melee. So if you haven't played in any MTG Melee tournaments, what you do is you have to actually submit your deck list, which is the entire list, all the cards, and then with that, you actually select the deck archetype, whether it's mono blue tempo, mono white, Coco Angels, whatever it ends up being. That's what you end up selecting. However, it seems that people are selecting deck archetypes that don't match their actual deck list. So what you can do currently is you can put a mono white life gain deck name archetype, but you could actually be playing Is It Phoenixes. Now, doing this is actually super scummy. However, since all these tournaments are open deck list, all you have to do is actually click on the deck list to see what's in the deck list. Because when you're registering the deck, you're technically just registering the cards that are in the deck. You're not registering the deck archetype name. So if you're really that concerned about what the opponent's playing, click on their deck if you want to see their deck list. Don't just go in with assumptions. However, once again, it is still pretty scummy, but that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below. It seems a lot of people are doing it for comedic factor because they think it's funny when you're expecting a mono black discard, but then you end up going against mono red burn. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit stupid, but let me know what you think. So here's where we get into the juicy stuff. Now, Crokeyz posted on Twitter recently, and he was like, hey, this month I'm going to focus on best of one because I'm sick and tired of CGB claiming to be the one in best of one. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's self-proclaimed. I mean, to be fair, Crokeyz did reach #1 in best of one. So I think that would make him the one in best of one, right? Because English. So since Crokeyz doesn't really speak good English, I mean, you can't really understand him, right? Kind of sounds like a goblin, I think. But I mean, CGB agrees with me. CGB threw up this video. You'll see exactly. Well, let's roll it right here.
I'm a fucking goblin, okay?
Gross spiral, Nissa.
I am secretly a fucking goblin.
Crisis. Give me that growth spiral.
So that's why I wear a hat, is to pretend that I'm not a goblin while actually being a real life fucking goblin, okay?
I mean, it makes sense that Crokeyz doesn't really speak the best English because, I mean, he called himself a goblin many times. It kind of makes sense. That's probably why he only plays aggro and red. I don't know. I mean, we all love Crokeyz, but we all hate goblins. Who knows? Who really knows what's going on anymore? However, I did end up reaching out to Crokeyz to get an official statement. And unfortunately, I couldn't get anything back from Crokeyz, but we got word back from his lawyer. So let's see what his lawyer had to say.
Hello, this is attorney Angus Neeps of Haggis, Neeps and Tatties family law firm. I've been instructed by our client Crokeyz to make this statement on his behalf. And I quote, "You can tell that we gobshit..." First draft? What was the... Oh. I apologise. So this, our client would like to make no statement at this time. So there you go.
Well, that is currently where we're at on the beef between CGB and Crokeyz. There could be some exclusives, some additional details that we have on this particular show coming out next week. Maybe. Don't know yet, but maybe. So if you don't want to miss that, hit that subscribe button, bell notification. You don't want to miss a single episode. So the most important piece of news that we have this week is for MTG to have a new set of cards called Alchemy. It's a really, really cool concept. I like it a lot. A lot of people are pissed off about it, but I think it's one of the greatest things to happen in Arena in quite a long time. So Alchemy is the new MTG Arena play mode based on the standard format that incorporates new to digital Magic alongside rebalanced standard cards to create a fast, ever-evolving experience for our players. That's what they said. So just directly off of that, I believe it's amazing. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that they want to consistently evolve the meta. They don't want to be restricted by the 3-month cycle of cards being printed on paper and then going into Magic Arena. I think it's amazing that they're actually focusing on Historic a lot, and also obviously this is for Standard, but all this stuff goes into Historic as well, which is great. Creating a new format with 2 more queues is a little bit scary. I'm a little worried about that because they already said that there was a lot of concern about opening a Historic Brawl queue. They thought it was going to hit a lot of other queues, which it doesn't seem like it did at all. But then again, I don't even have any of the stats to do the earlier claim. They haven't really shared any stats forever. So unfortunately, we can't really verify any of that information. But a lot of people, like I said, are upset about this. There's so many cool things about Alchemy. So let's get right into it. The first thing they're kind of going over is an ever-evolving play mode. So you get to build decks with standard cards and new to digital cards, and rebalance cards in new MTG Arena play mode that evolves as fast as our players. Again, this is pretty cool. It's just kind of whatever. So the new to digital cards, Alchemy will launch with a 63 new to digital Magic cards featuring mechanics designed specifically for digital play, and players can expect more new cards alongside every standard set release. This is awesome. This is amazing. I like more cards. More cards means more stuff to do. It means more changes to the meta, especially with the obvious stuff. They're saying, hey, we're doing digital only mechanics. We're doing digital only cards. We're changing cards. We're nerfing them. We're adjusting them, making them work better. They're doing all of this stuff to make Arena great, because it gets so annoying listening to the same fucking group of people complain and complain and complain about the same exact card for a year or two until it rotates out of standard. And then they go and complain about the next card, and then they complain about the next card, and then they complain about the next card. At least with this format, they can fix it all. They just fix it. If there's an actual problem with tournaments, they can notice it. With ladder results, they can notice it. They're like, hey, this is a problem. We're just going to change the card a little bit, and they're good. The next point that they make is rebalanced Magic cards. So Alchemy features rebalanced versions of existing standard cards to shake up the meta for digital play. This is really, really cool. I like this. I like this ever since they introduced it as a event. I forgot what the event was called. If you remember what the event was called, leave it in the comment section below. But they made 3 mana Teferi, a 4 mana. They made Wilderness Reclamation, only untap 2 or 3 lands, I think. They made Fires of Intervention cost 5 mana, and it was 2 red instead of 4 mana and 1 red. I really, really like those changes that they were doing. So I am really excited to see if they're only changing the ones that they announced, or if they're just doing a whole bunch and they're consistently going to do it, because I really hope they just continue on that trend. So a little bit more information about Alchemy. Once it launches, you log into MTG Arena, and at no cost you get 3 Alchemy boosters, 6 rare Alchemy individual card rewards or ICRs, and 1 Alchemy mythic card ICR. This is awesome. I like the fact that they're giving us free cards, free rares, free mythics, mythic, singular. I wish they would give us more mythics because I have so many rare wild cards and no mythic wild cards, and it pisses me off. But I do like that. I like that alone. However, all the cards that we've seen so far seem to really only be rares and mythics. There's a couple uncommons, but the majority of them are rares and mythics. So I'm interested to see how the packs actually open up. Seems like a collector's booster almost. I don't know. As far when Alchemy comes out, December 9th. That's like less than a week. That's like a day or two or three or four. That's nothing. We have a ton of cards coming up. I am super happy about this because I wouldn't say I'm necessarily getting bored, but I feel like I've explored a lot of the stuff that the new set already has to offer as far as Jank goes. So these extra cards is going to be fantastic. I'm going to have so much fun. So make sure to follow me over at twitch.tv/StriderStone. I do stream 5 days a week, every day except Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you want to see Jank live, go over there. With Alchemy, you're also going to get its own specific queue. So Alchemy is primarily just for standard. So with standard, it's a digital only format of standard because it'll have extra cards, it'll have adjusted cards or altered cards, just like mana cost, nerfs, buffs, whatever it is. So it's going to have a lot of that stuff, which I'm really excited about, but it's in their own queue. You're going to have a best of 1 queue and a best of 3 queue. So it's really, really cool. However, the cards also rotate out just as standard would. So it seems like this is an additional eternal format for standard. So it's like a digital only standard format, which I really like. I think it's cool. It may get me to the point where I will play some standard, because if they're going to change it up a whole bunch like they do with historic, it's probably something that I'll entertain. So let me know in the comment section below if you want to see me do a little bit of standard after Alchemy comes out. As for how to obtain Alchemy cards, you get a one-time purchase of 20 boosters for 3,000 gems or 15,000 gold. You can only do that once, like I said, per account, but after that, you can purchase them individually for 1,000 gold or 15 for 3,000 gems, essentially the same as you would any other pack. But it's cool that they're getting a little bit of a discount for the first little bundle, so I do like that. But again, almost every single card that I've seen have this has been a rare or mythic outside of like 2 or 3 uncommons. So unless they're just planning on dumping a bunch of cards that are total trash this week, then I don't exactly know how the booster packs are going to be going through. I don't know if it's going to be a pack of like 3 cards and you're always going to get like 2 or 3 rares. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but that's very interesting to me because there's only 63 cards in the set. So let me know if you see anything in the comment section below. I have no idea how the packs, let me know if they're going to be normal. I feel like they should be normal, but again, I don't know how they're going to do it with only 63 cards. It seems weird. And of course, any type of rebalanced Alchemy card will have a special A symbol on it. A is for asshole. I don't know what A is, but whatever. We'll go with that. It is painfully obvious of something that is arena specific. It has a giant A on it, so you can't really miss it. There's a lot of cool cards that are getting adjustments like Wizards class and Cosmos Elixir, which I'm super excited about. So you don't want to miss any of those. There are also a couple cards that are getting nerfed like Eska's Chariot, but also Elrond's Epiphany, which everybody's probably super excited about. I honestly don't see a lot of people playing regular standard for quite some time because everyone fucking hates Elrond's Epiphany and everyone fucking hates Eska's Chariot. Luminarch Aspirant is getting a nerf, which is also going to affect historic quite a bit. So I think it's going to change up standard a lot. However, it's going to be a completely different queue, even though it shares the same rank. So just like historic and standard share the same ranked ladder, this new Alchemy thing is also going to share the same ladder, which I just don't agree with personally. If they have separate queues, they should technically have different ladders. But at that point, I don't know if it's going to encourage players to do like a limited ladder and a standard ladder and a historic ladder and an Alchemy ladder. But then you also have to think, should there be a sealed and a draft ladder, or should it just be limited? You know, so there's so many different things that they could do. I really just don't know what they should do. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. I would actually be interested to hear what your theory is, because there's a lot of really good ideas out there, but some of them are just either not practical or, you know, there's a lot of bad ideas out there too. Let's be honest. Now, one of the most controversial parts of it is that you're not going to get a single wild card back, even for adjusted cards. So let's say you play historic only and you've been playing the same card since Arena first came out. And it's one of your favorite cards, but all of a sudden they're just going to decide to nerf it or buff it. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? I can't believe they changed the card. I want a refund in wild cards. Even though you've gotten a ton of hours and use out of it over the last 3 years, you're still going to complain. I don't really understand the point of that. However, some people just feel like they need to complain about everything. You don't get refunds and stuff in paper. However, again, this is a collectible card game and not a trading card game. So MTG Arena is still quite a bit different. Should they give you refunds and give you wild cards instead? In a capitalistic society, I'm gonna say no, because it makes sense not to, since you already got a lot of value out of the cards in theory. However, they probably should give you at least the option to, right? They should give you the option to, especially if they're nerfing a card, right? So I would say, let me know in the comment section below what you think they should do. I know there's a lot of people that are upset about it. Like I said, it's really controversial. Personally, I think it's fine because they're really just changing it for a format that's just vastly superior to standard, being standard Alchemy, but also historic. So in my opinion, it's a great change. They should keep them changed, and it doesn't really matter if you get your wild cards back. But that is my opinion. Let me know what you think. Now, one of the most important questions, the greatest question that we have, is how often should we expect balance changes or new cards for Alchemy play? Great question. The answer, we currently plan to release a new Alchemy sets in the weeks following the adjacent standard release. Pretty fucking sweet. So I assume it's the same kind of pattern that we have from this set to this Alchemy set. So for example, players should expect the Alchemy set for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty to become available sometime in March. This is pretty cool. I actually don't know when Kamigawa is scheduled to release, so I'm sure that'll show up somewhere in the video here, somewhere. Now there's already a bunch of spoilers out and everything like that. I don't really want to go over all those today. That's not the point of this. It's really just to say, hey, Alchemy's a thing. My opinion, digital only mechanics in a digital only format is amazing. The people who are complaining about digital only formats, nobody cares about your opinion. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. It really, really doesn't. The only thing that this does is it evolves the meta more quickly. They're able to handle issues with cards or deck types, anything, any type of issue, whether it's a card that's a problem. They can either nerf it or buff it. They can just ban it outright all the time. They're adding all these new mechanics. They can make even newer mechanics. They can remove a mechanic if it's way too powerful. There's just so many things that they can do here. There isn't a downside. The only downside is you can't play it on paper, but historic was literally never intended to be played on paper. And I know that Alchemy is also never designed to be played on paper because there are digital only mechanics. It's a digital only format on a digital only platform that's a collectible card game. So not only is it not a trading card game, it's also not offline. There's so many things about this of why people are mad that I just don't understand. None of it makes sense. You need to be able to attract people. If the game is just completely fucked for 2 years, like remember Eldraine? Everyone hated the game for the entire rotation of Eldraine. You don't have to do that anymore. You just don't have to deal with it. Nerfs, buffs, new cards all the time. Meta is constantly evolving. Even if MTG fucks up, their testing team doesn't do anything. Whatever happens, they can fix it. They can fix it right away, and it has nothing to do with paper. There's no impact on pricing on paper. There's literally nothing. There's so many benefits to this. And regardless, they're still in the process of adding Pioneer into the game. So it's not like there's only standard as the paper format. You still have limited, and they're still in the process of adding Pioneer. It's a whole situation that people are just complaining about nothing. I personally have still not heard a valid argument outside of the acquiring system is still shitty. You have to buy packs, you have to use a bunch of rares and mythics. That sucks. That's the only thing I can 1000% agree with, but that's an economy issue and not a new card issue. It's anytime you're introducing new cards, you have to purchase them, you have to acquire them. Something has to happen, and the way that they have all of their economy set up in MTGA, it's just trash. So that has absolutely nothing to do with this particular discussion. If you have a valid argument of why this is a bad idea, please let me know in the comment section below. I have a very open mind, but in my opinion, it's all just a bunch of big baby bitches with their feelings hurt. That's all I could say. That's all I have. I have zero good arguments. So again, if you have one, let me know in the comment section below. In fact, if you want to get on a video call and actually talk to me about it, and we can put it in the next week's episode of the Salt Mine, you let me know. That's going to wrap it up for the news and drama of this week. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell notification. We do these videos every single week, as well as the 2 top 10 series. This is a completely unique channel. It's brand new, so I would appreciate the subscribe as well as you sharing the video if you like this content. Thank you all so much for watching to the very end. I do appreciate it. It helps the channel grow, especially since it's a new one. So please share it with anybody who you think might be interested. Hit that subscribe button, bell notification, and leave a comment.